Okay, the next section, we're going to take it to the next level. So we're going to have to distribute and then simplify. Now, your order of operations never go away. So when I see a problem with parentheses, I'm still wanting to do that first. On this problem right here, I have 6y plus 2 times y plus 1. Normally, I would try to add the y and the 1 together first because that's what order of operations tell me to do. However, I have no idea what this y is numerically, so I cannot add the y and the 1. They are not like terms. So my next step, in order to get rid of the parentheses first, is to distribute. I am not going to do anything with this 6y right now. So I'm going to take this positive 2 and I'm going to distribute it to the y and to the positive 1. So I'm going to bring down this 6y here. Then 2 times y is a positive 2y. And then 2 times 1, positive 2 times positive 1 is a positive 2. So all I did again was distribute the positive 2 to the y and the positive 2 to the 1. And I got 2y plus 2. I'm still not finished because now I have some like terms. If you remember from yesterday, these two are alike. So I can simplify this by combining these two together. Since this is a 6y and a positive 2y, I'm going to add them together. 6 plus 2 is 8. So my answer is 8y plus 2. There's nothing else I can do because 8y has a y next to it and 2 does not. Just below that, I have 7.2 times w minus 5 plus 3w. Again, order of operations never go away, so I need to get rid of this parentheses first. In order to do that, I need to distribute this 7.2 to w and the 7.2 to negative 5. Okay, so when I do that, I'm going to multiply 7.2 times w, 7.2w. Now, I do want you to put this next one into the calculator. 7.2 times negative 5. And when you did that, you should have got negative 36. Okay, then this plus 3w is not being multiplied by this. The reason why is because this 3w was not in the parentheses. So it's not affected by this 7.2. So I'm just simply going to write down plus 3w at the end. And now I can check for like terms. I have a w here and a w here. So I'm going to add 7.2 plus 3. Put that in your calculator, double check. Because some of us will make some errors if we don't. And when you do that, you should get 10.2w. And that minus 36 just gets written down because there's not an alike term with that negative 36. There's no other constant. 10.2w minus 36 is the answer. Alright, next 2. I'm going to first distribute to get rid of the parentheses. So 2 times 4a. 2 times 4 is 8. Don't forget the a. And then 2 times negative 1. Negative 2. And then this plus a, again, is not being multiplied by 2 because it's not inside this parentheses. So I just write plus a. Now remember, that's a plus 1a, so if you want to put the number 1 in front of it, that might be helpful when you start combining like terms. Now I'm going to combine like terms. This AA is going to combine with this 1a, so now I have 9a. And then I just simply write that minus 2. So my answer is 9a minus 2. The next one has a fraction. Don't freak out. I'm going to distribute the 1/3 to the 2m. In your calculator, hit Control Divide. Type in your 1/3, the multiplication sign, and then a 2. So you can have 1/3 times 2. So that'll give you 2/3 is what it should tell you. Don't forget the letter m. And then now we have 1/3 times positive 6. So in your calculator again, type in Control and then the division sign. Put in your 1/3 in the fraction template. Multiplication sign and 6. That's positive 6. So 1/3 times 6. That should give you a positive 2. And then I'm going to bring down this minus 10. So that negative 10 or that minus 10 is not affected by the 1/3. It's not in the parentheses. There are no other m's, so I have 2/3 m still. And this positive 2 and negative 10 are going to go together. In my calculator, I type in 2 minus 10, which is negative 8. So my answer is 2/3 minus 8. Do not change those fractions to decimals. Leave them there. Alright, next to 6r minus 2 times r plus 4. This one's a little bit more tricky because this minus sign. Again, I'm going to get rid of the parentheses first. I cannot do r plus 4, so I'm going to distribute this right here. Now, this is not a positive 2. This is a negative 2 times r. So I'm going to write down this 6r first. Negative 2 times r. That's negative 2r. And then negative 2 times 4. Negative 2 times 4, please use your calculator, negative 8. And if you see right here, these first two I can combine. 6 minus 2 is 4. So my answer is 4r minus 8. Again, this one's a little bit tricky because you have to realize that that 2 is negative. If I put my finger over this 6r, I read that as negative 2. It's not positive 2. That minus sign goes with that 2. Again, if I cover that up, I would read that as negative 2. That's why it's important to take into consideration the negative sign. This one down here looks a little crazy. But again, we're going to get rid of the parentheses first. So this 1/2 is not affected by the parentheses. I cannot add the 3 and the 1/2 first. Order of operations say parentheses first. So this 1/2 I'm going to write down. And then I'm going to distribute this positive 3. Again, if I covered that 1/2 up with my finger here, that's a positive 3 I'm distributing. So I'm going to do 3 times the 2u and then 3 times the 1/6. So again, 3 times 2u, so 3 times 2, so positive 6. Put your u next to it. And then 3 times 1/6. Type this in your calculator, positive 3 times. And then for the fraction 1/6, you're going to hit the control and the divide button. Those are going to be your best friends when it comes to fractions. Hit control divide. And type in 1/6. 3 times 1/6 should give you a positive 1/2. Now this one, my 1/2s are what I have alike. This one and this one. And a half makes a whole. So I have 1 plus 6u. That's my answer. Keep in mind I could rearrange these and put 6u first and then plus 1. That's fine. In addition, order doesn't matter. Alright, last two. 3 times m. 3 times 5. And I'm not doing 3 times negative 10 because negative 10 is not in the parentheses. So I just write down minus 10. And these two right here I can subtract because they are alike, because they do not have an m next to it or any other variable. They're constant. So 15 minus 10 is a positive 5. 3m plus 5. And the last one here, negative 2 times s and minus 3. So negative 2 times s. That's easy. Negative 2s. And negative 2 times negative 3. Be careful. That's a negative times a negative. Use your calculator or positive 6. And then plus 17s. Again, 17 is not affected by that negative 2 because it is not in the parentheses. And I'm going to combine this negative 2s with the positive 17s. In my calculator, I type in negative 2 plus 17. 15s plus 6. That's my final answer. Alright. The last two, they're worked out, but there are mistakes. So we need to first identify the mistake and then show the correct solution. So, this first one here, I have 8 plus 2 times 3p minus 1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to solve it correctly. So that I can identify what the error is. So I have 8 plus 2 times 3p plus 1. My goal is to get rid of parentheses. So I'm going to write down the 8 because the 8 is not affected by the parentheses. And then I have a positive 2 times 3p. That's plus 6p. And then positive 2 times a positive 1. That's a positive 2. And then I'm going to combine like terms. So the things that I have alike here are the 8 and the 2. That gives me 10 plus 6p. Now, if I look at their answer, we both have a 10, but we have a 30, and I have a 6 with the p over here. So let's see where they went wrong. Looks like they didn't get rid of parentheses first. They added the 8 and the 2, which is wrong. So they added instead of distributing. Or multiplying, because you're supposed to multiply before you add. Order of operations never goes away. So they shouldn't have added the 8 plus 2. First distribute, first get rid of parentheses, and then do everything else. Multiply, divide, add, subtract. Alright, so here we go. 3d minus 2 times d minus 4. So I'm going to go ahead and solve it correctly. The 3d is not affected by the parentheses, so I'm going to go ahead and write that down, 3d. This is a negative 2. If I cover up this 3d with my finger here, that's a negative 2 times d and a negative 2 times negative 4. So this negative 2 times d, negative 2d, and negative 2 times negative 4. That's a positive 8. Be very careful. Negative times a negative is a positive. And then I can combine these two right here. 3 minus 2 is 1. D plus 8. So this should be my answer. And I see a 1D. That looks good. And a minus 8, I have plus 8. So let's go back up. 3D minus 2D minus 8. Ooh, there's the mistake right there. When they multiplied negative 2 times negative 4, they said it was negative 8. So negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8, not negative 8.